shift the players. So we're looking at Sam, at Jamie, at Ty, and at Avery, if you hit your poses. Does that seem to capture them okay for you? Jamie, obviously, we have really late in the process. So now, if we could rotate, please, and if you go to the other end, and everybody would shift down one. So Ty is now here. Does that make any difference? Is it okay if a girl gets another girl drunk? Or puts something in her drink? But that never happens, right?
It's not okay to do listen to people's drinks, but I think it's more, a girl's more accepting to take a drink from another girl than from a guy they don't know.
Okay. So it might be more likely to happen. Rotate again, please. And rotate again. And now what happens if you have a girl getting a guy drunk? Is that cool? Because he probably has a higher tolerance than she does anyway. Part of this is just looking at expectations or assumptions that we have. Yeah. I mean, what difference does it make if it's two guys? What difference does it make if I'm Ty and I'm much older? You know, so what difference does that make? And you should rotate one more time. Get this back to our original. Thank you. You should introduce yourselves, please.
My name is Jalen Harris. I'm a senior theater major.
I'm Emily Ramaklis. I'm also a senior theater major.
I'm Lance McKeel. I'm a doctoral candidate in theater.
I'm Cindy Stroud, and I'm a doctoral candidate in theater.
If we could give them a round of applause. Do you have any questions for us?
I just think of the TV show, What Would You Do? You know, it kind of reminds me of that. You know,
Sure.
You all see John Stossel and those
Oh,
things.
yeah.
And you always see the different reactions of people. So I guess if you're not, you almost have to be in the situation to see, would I really react? Or would I just say, I don't want to deal with that?
Which is one of the reasons why we really appreciate your jumping in and literally putting yourself in that situation. Because it doesn't feel the same, right? Looking at it from the outside and going, oh, well, just do this, do that, isn't quite the same thing as literally putting yourself in the situation.
Well, that's why doing something like this, I think, is so important and really role playing, because we can talk about these issues, but really having these conversations and putting yourself in the situation, and what would you do? I mean, you don't really think about those things until you are in the situation. So I think this is such an important component to what we're doing and adds so much value. So.
And one thing we almost started to touch on but didn't really dig into, if we go back to the beer pong situation before they go off, what if we were a bystander there? Someone else from class who may not know them very well, or is there something, or if you're a friend of Jamie's and you're hearing this. Trickier, right, if you're not already in the conversation. But, and that's part of what's tricky about bystander intervention anyway, I think often, is where does that initiative come from? And now if you're a good friend of hers, then there's automatic an entree there to go, oh, Jamie, hey, and get in this whole conversation that may help separate her from Ty. Or at least, she's not alone. But I think those are things we definitely don't think about if it's not someone that we're specifically out with.
And nobody wants to be the fun crusher either. You know, no one wants to just walk in and be like, no drinking here, this is inappropriate behavior. You know, like even though there are probably times when you really probably should say that, nobody really wants to say that. You don't want to be the wet blanket.
That's something, what if like that's what she wants to do, is go get drunk with this guy? Who am I to tell her that she
But you could be there.
You like put in a word, like, you sure you want to do this? Like, you're like, I don't know. Do something that's like, how far do you want to cry? Because it's not your life.
Well, and also, you've got your own agenda being at the party, right? And so you don't want the party to suddenly become about taking care of this friend that you may not be best friends with. You know, which is a whole other issue, because if you did care that much, or you're an ex-boyfriend, or you are really good friends, then you might go into the beer pong room and, you know, just kind of keep an eye on her. But do you want that to be your whole evening? You know, so this isn't easy stuff, as you know better than we do, right? But it's one of what we do try and do is give voices and faces and bodies to these issues so that they're not hypothetical, and the difference it makes in seeing them played out and discussing what some options might be. We really appreciate you having us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for participating.
That's where I saw it.
And Faith, you have feedback sheets?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Good job.
Seriously.
And guys, thank you. We really appreciate you jumping in.
Thank you, it was very enlightening.
Thank you.
Why did she get up there?
I didn't want to make anybody look bad.
I retired after my 4th grade play.
Okay, that's a good line too. I like that.